Thank you guys for tuning in with Coach Kizzy and Majestic Life Solutions. So we're gonna talk just a little bit about I know that it's a lot of difficulties and people going through some things in the world, right? So I'm gonna give you some tips. You see how this you see how this open? You have to study. You have to actually study and do things, right? So I'm gonna tell you through your times of trial things that you really need to know. You understand what I'm saying? So we it's about patience. Everything is about patience. A lot of us be impatient. I used to be impatient, but I have patience. I used to be impatient. Like, just say for instance, if I go to like the grocery store or something, it's the lines are long. I used to be like, oh, I'm not for standing this line. I'm not for standing this line. I'm for to go. But I'm for to tell you one thing and two things for certain. I want you to listen up. If you got to put your big ear to the I don't even know if I can hear myself. I don't, because I got this plugged up. I want you to put your big ear to the screen or whatever you have to do. Oh, there I go. Oh, I can't hear it because it's in here. So let me make sure I can hear myself. Yeah, I can hear myself. Okay, so when I say you have to have patience, it's because everything that you go through in life, we have a timing on everything, right? We can go through some ups and downs, storms, whatever we go through in life. But hear me out, okay? Just hear me out for just one moment. So, given God's timing to work things out in your life is a powerful spiritual practice that encourage patience, faith, and trust in the higher power. Okay, it involves stepping back. You got to step back from our immediately response that we want God to just answer our prayers right then and there. So the immediate it response and anxiety, allowing divine timing to unfold. Wait for God timing. God timing is the best timing, okay? So you have to put your faith and your trusting the process, believing that God has a plan for you, even if it doesn't align with your timeline, because God don't work on our time. He works whenever He ready to work. That's His timing. Okay, so you got to trust the process. Okay, spiritual references, verses like Jeremiah 29:11. It reminds us that God has good plans for our lives. Okay, He has good plans for our lives. So patience, our patience, because we got to have that. We got to have that. Waiting with purpose. While you waiting on God's timing, you have to wait with purpose. You have to find what your purpose is in life. Okay, use that time to grow spiritually and emotionally. Reflect on what you can learn during the waiting period. So that means open up your book and seeing what God wants out of your life. Okay, so that's what we have to do. Endurance. James 1:2-4 encourage us to consider trials, listen, as opportunities for growth. James 1 2 2-4 says, consider it a great joy, my brothers, whatever you experience various trials, knowing that the testing of your faith produces endurance. But endurance might do this complete work, so that you may be mature and complete, lacking nothing. Okay, because God don't want you to be lacking. He don't want you to be slacking. He wants you to have whatever you need in life. You just got to trust the process. He won't, like how I'm in isolation, right? How I'm in isolation. it gives me an opportunity to lean on the book, the good book, the book of life. It puts my faith and my trust in the Most High God to see what path that what path that He want me to go down. So prayer and reflection, communication with God, engage in regular prayer, asking for guidance and clarity as you wait. Let me say that one more time. Prayer and reflection, communication with God, engage in regular prayer, asking for guidance and clarity as you wait. Let Him give you clarity. He will give you clarity. All you have to do is sit and isolate yourself from people and listen to that voice that you've been waiting on for that prayer to be answered, or whatever trials you're going through. You have to listen. Journaling. You see all my excuse me. You see all my journaling? You see all that journaling? That's all me that I wrote. I wrote. Because I can always go back to it, and it's a reminder. It's a reminder to refresh my brain. It's a reminder. I'm gonna tell you why it's a reminder. So when God gives me the key and say, okay, you know what? This is an opportunity for you to go do this. I need you to go do this, right? He give me that opportunity. So therefore, if I go down the road, the path that God has for me. When I go down the path that God has for me, I can always look back, and if before I make a mistake, I can go back to my journaling. And I can say, you know what? I talked about that. You know what? It looked like I'm about to make a mistake. I don't want to make that mistake. Let me see what I talked about during my waiting period. During my waiting period, I can go back to my journaling, and I can say, you know what? I talked about this. And that's what you have to do. You have to refresh your brain. That's why you see, like right now, you see a lot of pastors are going or basically in trouble, or if they're not in trouble, they're not doing the right they're not coming out the book of life. They twisting the words up to what they want it to be. So if they go back into their journaling and they waiting season, when they was waiting on God to show them their path and look in their book, you get it right. Okay. So act of faith. Take action. When you take action while waiting, look for ways to serve others. You understand what I'm saying? That's why I get on my platform, to serve others. Because what I'm going through, somebody else is probably going through. What I'm going through, somebody probably going through something similar to like mine, but it's probably way worse. Way worse. Okay, you understand? So remain engaged in community. That's why I get on my platform and I inspire people. People. That is a community. You understand what I'm saying? So maintain a positive outlook on every situation, every obstacle that you go through in life, because you have to jump those obstacles. But you have to wait on the process of what God wants you to do, what path God wants you to go down. So maintain a positive outlook. Focus on gratitude for what you have, reinforcing your faith in the future. It gives you a time enough to know that I have faith in the Most High God to align my life for the future. But you have to have that faith. Okay? Keep a positive outlook. Recognizing God's timing. You have to recognize God's timing. You can't recognize God's timing when you got a lot of things going on. That's why you soak in silence. That's why you sit in silence, because you can listen to his voice. And recognizing God's timing is a sign and opportunities. Be open to recognizing the signs and opportunities that come your way, which may indicate God direction. So how can you hear God direction when you got so much going on? How can you hear God's direction when you're in a group of people? How can you hear his direction? What path does he has for you? Do you know? No, because it's people that's surrounding you that's leading you down whatever path they want you to go down, not God's direction. You got to wait on God's direction. When you wait on God's direction, it's the best timing in the world. Only thing you have to do is wait on the process. Acceptance. Sometimes the answer may not be what you expected. Listen to what I'm telling you. Listen to what I'm telling you. So you got to accept God direction. So the acceptance that the exception that you had to put in your brain sometimes may not be the answer that you expected. Because what you expected God to do, he might do more. You understand what I'm saying? What you expected God to do, he might do more. So being open to different outcomes. Be open to different outcomes of what God plans he has for your life. It might be more and it might be less. And every time I get on here, and God, it went away. But just wait on the outcome. Wait on God's direction. Because when you wait on God's direction, it's the best direction. And I can tell you, wait on his timing. And I said I wasn't going to get up on here no more and talk about it. But it's a good thing to talk about it. Because it's a lot that's going on in the world. And the world needs healing. You understand what I'm saying? The world needs healing. Not just me. The world needs healing. It's signs all around us. And the only thing we have to do is have patience and wait on wait for the process. Wait on God's timing and direction, okay?